got some pictures of as well. So we do rent these 5-foot sections up front to the artist. We do promote the art. We always suggest people buy original art. We try to be really frequent about posting to that same end online. And we do not take any commissions or fees when that art sells. We do, however, stock merchandise, so prints, stickers, cards, journals, handmade items. For those, we kind of do the opposite. We don't charge to stock it, and we take 15% when those sell.
And you do not have to be part of the exhibit.
You do not have to be part of the exhibit to do that. And we want for that to be an open market for area artists particularly. So definitely invite you to contact us about any or all of that. We do also have space for 3D artists. We do that really very one-off depending on how much space they're going to take up and what their needs for display are. But I like it to be known we do that. And we're also getting a little bit more flexible. Like I said, we've only been open since February, so June and July will be our 3rd exhibit in the space. And we're getting a little bit more flexible because we've got some really strong artists who might want to exhibit a piece that they've been working on, right? So we are willing to have those conversations, definitely. So for any and all of that or any questions that you have on exhibiting, artismo.gallery.bistro@gmail.com will reach us. I do ask that you put visual art in the subject line because Jennie here keeps insanely busy booking entertainment through that same mailbox. So you'll also see that because of that, and because we don't want to be a pain in Jennie's back end, we have a different email for the upcoming art fair, which is what we've got over here. We just got county approval, so we're just able to roll out with marketing for this, and we're very, very, very excited. We will be renting out all of the back lot behind, it's the Veterans Park parking lot, over Ramona Cliff's mural is at, so if you're familiar with that space, on August 3rd, we will be having an art fair.
It's 10 by 20 spots too, not 10 by 10.
Yes, 10 by 20 spots. And also because it's an August 3rd art fair, like everyone that participates as an artist at Artismo, we really like to make pretty much part of like an Artismo family, no matter how little or how much you come around. So as an art fair attendant, you need to know that we have a really well air-conditioned building right there. And, you know, complimentary water all the time, restrooms. So I know some of us have been very hot at some art fairs in the past, and we're definitely not going to ignore that fact with an August 3rd event. So the standard cost for that is going to be a $55 booth rental. We do have discounts for members of Friends of Noto and also Friends of Artismo. And so that would be someone who has exhibited with us before or is exhibiting with us this summer in either the June-July exhibit or the August-September exhibit.
We're going to continue to run that deal every year, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And this is our inaugural art fair. We have every intention of it being an annual art fair.
Yeah. So if you've ever shown with us, then you'll be a friend of Artismo with the best deal out there.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Oh. This is me.
This is Jennie. She's a wonderful artist and a wonderful business owner and doesn't really like talking in front of people. Sorry, I shared that.
No problem, no problem. So this is one of my photographs I took. I take photography of all sorts of things. I don't really like doing portrait photography unless it's candid, like at all. Like I just don't like it. So I take pictures of a lot of weird things. And some of those pictures end up just regular old pictures with some editing. Some of them don't have editing. Some of them are completely abstract. So you're making me nervous. Please move. Like, please sit down. I already don't want to be up here. You're going to make me drop the mic. Like, you just gave me the worst anxiety by standing behind me.
Goodness.
Whew. So, sorry y'all, I did not want to be up here. I have really bad, like, anxiety talking in front of people. So, let me get back to what I was saying. So this is this is just a regular picture. The only thing I did was actually invert it. So the sun was just hitting just right. So I had the reflection of these other trees, and I just love it. It's a great photo, I think. Now this is a candid photo, like these are the type I like to take. This is actually Becki and Timbo painting together. So at the zoo, she was in Core this year, and that was a great thing to be able to be there and to witness and to take pictures of. And I will never forget that. So I'm also Timbo's friend now, thanks to Becki. I like that a lot. So this is just a basic photo I took. I kind of liked the way the train was sitting, so nothing spectacular, I don't think, but I don't know. Becki says I'm a good photographer, and I got in some places and did some things, so I guess I'm okay. So this is an example of some of the kind of abstract or double exposure editing I might do. This is a performer that we have. He's very, very difficult to capture on camera, like very difficult, but he makes these great abstract double exposure pictures I like a lot. So, and he appreciates them. This is one of my abstracts. This is an eyeball. So, and I just kind of manipulated the picture. So I kind of like to do that a lot. Another abstract, this is a mother of 1,000 plants. So I abstracted that, changed the coloration a little bit. And now Becki. Anything anyone want to ask me about Artismo or anything while we're up here? While I'm up here? No? Okay.
Sorry, I made you.
Thanks.
I'm Becki Waugh.
standing beside me.
This is one example of, I kind of do two styles of work. I do watercolor and ink primarily. Well, like all visual artists, right? I do whatever's in front of me, so I draw whatever. But this is one that I've kind of embraced. This will actually be featured on a Hazel Hill chocolate bar, their gourmet chocolate wrapper this year. So I was really honored to do that. They asked me to do a rendering of the area in Colombia that the chocolate was coming from. And unfortunately, what I really wanted to do was go to Colombia, but I just went on Google for pictures of Colombia, and this is my region. I don't know why. Actually, after I looked up the region, I was like, no, I don't want to go to that part of Colombia because it's the scary part. Because that's where the good chocolate comes from. This was a major project I did last year, also with the watercolor and ink, and I tell people that, and they look at these detailed drawings, and I guess watercolor and ink is a little bit misleading. I use watercolor pencils. So I sketch it in ink first. I don't have any of the community drawings up here, but another thing I really like to do is go out, whether it's the park or a gathering or whatever, and I like to do really fast ink sketches and then come back in with color later, and they make for kind of vibrant. But this was a commissioned work that I did for Lisa LaRue Baker for Topeka land acknowledgement, the citywide land acknowledgement, and this is a depiction of the peoples who were on the land. This is Shawnee County. This is an example of one of my acrylic paintings. It's called Scorched Dreams, because I specifically wanted a dramatic name. This is a painting that I did for a Christmas card, and I liked it because it felt kind of Dr. Seussy. And do you guys ever paint something and then have a really hard time recreating that same vibe again? So I've been trying to do this since, but I don't think this has a name. And now, moving back to Artismo, Gallery and Bistro, and that was just kind of, we are visual artists. A little bit of background too, I guess. We've known each other and been... Okay.
Alright. That's part of the reason, being a visual artist, that we're very adamant about the whole commission or anything, because being a visual artist, you have to price your stuff also to be able to be bought, you know, you can't price yourself out of it. So we really felt it was important to make it as accessible to the artist as it is accessible, or as accessible to the customer, you know, that comes in as it is to the artist to be able to continue to sell that. So that was really important to us, and you know, just having kind of a different take on things because we were visual artists.
I hate pricing my work anyway, so this way you can think about it like, well, what do I want to take home? Without coming additional math and then being like, ooh, that feels expensive. You know, so I like things simple so you can figure out if it's worthwhile out the gate, and I think for a lot of folks it has been. So, and on that point, you know, we've had really, in my opinion, really very solid art sales numbers, including original works of art, since we opened. So that's nice, and I think that that is because in part we are creating a space that does include emerging artists, you know, and so we're able to offer a range, and we get folks, you know, that come in and maybe they make a purchase of $60 or $80, but then they have their eye on something more expensive, you know, and come back for that too. So it's something we've had good luck with, and something we're really proud of. Definitely when you hang out there, encourage people to come back and hang out. Friday and Saturday, we really try to nail the entertainment bit of it. There is oftentimes, usually a door charge on Friday and Saturday evenings, but we also serve up a delicious menu, and yeah, it's just $5. And our specialty is ice cream floats. So another thing that we always like to, like, our business plan is slightly confusing to some people because they see that we book a lot of music and they kind of assume we're a bar, and we're not a bar. And we will never be a bar. And we will never be a bar because I don't think you can be a gallery with a bar in it. I think you can be a bar that tries to pretend like you have a gallery in it, but as soon as you're a bar, right? We are BYOB, that said, so it's kind of a budgetary way to enjoy your Friday night if you enjoy drinking also. So that's, and all of that was said to also say, come down and try our menu, and I encourage you to encourage others to come down and try our menu, right? Because it's really affordable. Mac and cheese, and Zebby is one of our, yeah, they're calling both.
Hello.
Hello.
So that's my daughter who's watching the shop right now, because normally always Jennie is there. If Jennie's not always there, then I'm there. So hopefully we don't have an emergency. Jennie may need to go. In which case, and yeah, invite everyone at any point if we wanted to walk down there together and check out the space real quick. We could sure do that if you want to come down after you meet. Hello. You're welcome to do that as well. So, also follow us on Facebook, because that's what we're really good at keeping up to date, not all the rest of it, because it's a lot. If you have not been in there before, this is an overview of the space. So as you can see, we've got quite a bit of gallery wall. We actually have slightly over 100 lineal feet of gallery wall. Actually more than that when you include the hallway, which we have. We feature black light activated art in the hallway. We have a black light there, and I've been surprised how many area artists actually work with that. So that's kind of fun to offer. But this kind of gives you a view of most of the gallery wall spaces. And as I said, there are some interesting nooks and crannies that are great for larger pieces. This is something Miranda's joined us for, and Nicole's joined us for, and this we really like, and we're gonna, every month we do a figure drawing session. This last week was insane, and we actually had to sub it out for a life drawing session, or a still life drawing session, but that's not gonna happen again, because this is like my favorite. And it's 2 hours where someone or another is gonna sit still for 2 hours. Normally and hopefully in some sort of interesting garment.
I gotta go.
Okay.
I want to read your piece.
Alright.
It's down
Okay. This is another picture. So there's a couple of things that are nice about the front spaces there. They are visible from the street, and they're really well lit, and they're really high profile. but there's also a couple of the exhibit spaces that get captured in a lot of photography because of the performances that we have there. And this is kind of, I tried to capture the majority, I guess, of the various sections. We also have a really complete packet that aims to answer all of the questions that we can email to you or give you a hard copy down at the gallery. And it kind of identifies everything as knowns. But this and the other vertical picture, those are the front spaces, and so those are the spaces that would oftentimes be great to feature maybe a little bit bigger of a body of work, or if you knew that you wanted to exhibit more like 10 or 15 feet of work. Then we do have the very long south wall that features art very, very nicely, and I can hang pretty much anything of any size there. And then this wall is on a rail system, so it's slightly more limiting, but it features both framed work and painted canvases very, very nicely. You'll see too in these pictures that we have a lot of chair rails and they're really deep. We've got quite a bit of Jonah Graff's art featured on those rails, and there's a lot of room to accommodate merchandise, 3D art, and fun, funky little pieces that require that. And this is I am not good at drawing things on computers, but I've made this. This is the main gallery space. This is kind of a rendering of the size of that blacklight hallway. And when I refer to the one-off spaces, those are like the ones up over the stage and stuff. So, all right, that's my last slide, and I don't want to take any more of anybody's time. But definitely here for questions if you've got any for me. If anyone would like to go down to the space, a little field trip, or come down afterwards. If you want to walk down there, I'm down. Anyone not want to take a field trip? We're kind of hoping that whatever emergency is happening down there is not a big, big emergency, right?